Alrighty, welcome back, 6th grade. We are continuing to work on volume. The packet that you are going to be looking at for this video is the same packet that you already have on volume. So yesterday we worked through example number 1. Today we are looking at example number 2. I don't know why I wrote 3 and 4, but this is actually example number 2 and example number 3 in your packet. So from your packet, that comes from page 571. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we did was, hopefully by now you understand the formula for finding the volume of something is taking the length times the width and then multiplying it times the height. And when you multiply all three together, you get the volume. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I turned up my. Sorry. I know you've been talking a little bit about how quiet the video is, so I'm trying to adjust the volume a little bit. But right now I kind of hear an echo on my side. So I'm going to turn it up, and then we'll try and see how it goes. Okay, no, I can't. All right. So let's see. Today, with volume, we are just adding to what you already know. And so with that, here's the first shape that we're going to look at, okay? So yesterday we pretty much talked about whole numbers. Today we're going to include some fractions along with our whole number rational numbers, okay? So when I look here, I should have a length of 8, right? It's 8 long. That means this line is 8, this line is 8, this line would be 8 down here, and so would this back be, even though I know I drew it kind of crooked. So I fill in my length is 8 times I fill in for my width, okay? My width is how deep it is, right? So it is 3 1/4 inches deep, okay? And then my height, how tall it is 12 1/2 inches tall. And I'm trying to find my V, or my volume. That's what I don't know, okay? When I plug these in, obviously I have a whole number and a fraction and a fraction, okay? So you have to, like when we did fractions, decimals, and percents, we had to make them all the same. So for me, I think the easiest would be to turn them all into improper fractions, okay? So if I turn 8 into an improper fraction, 8 is a whole number, so that's the easiest one to turn into an improper fraction. I make that 8 firsts, right? And then I multiply. So I have 3 1/4. So to make 3 1/4 an improper fraction, I take 3 times 4, which is 12, and I add 1 to get 13/4. And then I take 12 times 2. 12 times 2 is 24, plus 1 is 25. And same thing, 25 halves. Okay? So when I have this, I would then go through and I would multiply it all out. Right? I can multiply it all out. So you can also go through and you can cross reduce these. So when you cross reduce, for example, if I take 8 and 4 and I cross reduce those two. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. But then I can also cross reduce this 2 and this 2 to make this 2 1 and this 2 1. And if you look in your packet, they kind of did that for you. Okay? So if you're trying to find the volume, this is what we don't know. You would multiply 1 times 13 times 25. And if you noticed, I have a 1, 1, and a 1 down here left on the bottom. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And when you multiply 13 times 25, because this is just 1, you will get a total of 325. And then remember, we have 3 dimensions: length and width and height. So since we have 3 dimensions, we should take our label, which is inches, and make it inches cubed for our final answer. Okay? All right, I'm going to let you try C. If you want to give it a shot, before I tell you the answer, you should pause it right now, and then I'll tell you what the answer is to check your progress. C. All right, check your progress. C. The answer should be, if you do the same type of problem, the answer should be 170 inches cubed. 170 inches cubed. Okay? All right, now let's move over to example 3. So on example 3, we've done a problem like this before. We're using the same formula. Length times width times height is the same as the volume. Okay? The only difference now is when you look at example number 3, they give me the width, they give me the length, they do not give me the height, but they do give me my volume in this one. So over here, my variable, or what I was trying to find, was the V, or the volume. Over here, that's not going to be the case anymore. Because if I do the same thing and draw lines down, I would draw down that my length should be 6 meters. I would draw down that my width should be 4 meters. But when I go to draw down my height, there is no height, or there's no height there. Okay? So I just have to keep that as H for height. And then I can also draw down that my volume is 84 meters cubed. Okay? Now this is going back to algebra, going back to solving equations, right? So I am trying to solve for H. And if you think back to when we were solving equations, since H is on this side of the same as sign now, it should remain on that side later. So to help you remember that, I would encourage you just to bring down your H so you remember that this is what you have to get rid of, okay? This is what you have to get rid of over here, okay? But what you can do is you can take 6 and 4, and since you have an operation here, so you don't have to carry over the 6 and then carry over the 4 later, you can combine these first. So 6 times 4 would be 24 meters times height is the same as 84 meters cubed. Okay? Now, hopefully you remember that if I had 24 meters and I'm taking it times H, the way to get rid of the 24 is to do the opposite. So if it was 24 plus H, we'd say minus 24. But in this case, it's times H, or multiplied by H. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I would take 24 and I would divide it by 24 meters. Okay? Now 24 divided by 24, remember, is 1. But no matter what H is, 1 times H is still going to be H. Right? 1 times H is still going to be H. So that's how we can bring that H straight down. Okay? Then on this side, I'm going to take 84 and I'm going to divide it by 24. Okay? Don't worry so much about the label, since this says meters cubed and this is just going to be meters. It's just kind of irrelevant. Okay? But when you divide it out, you should take 84 divided by 24. And when you get that, you should get 3.5 or 3 5/10, not meters cubed anymore, just meters. Remember? Because your height is just one dimension. Your height is just one side. So since you're trying to find the height, your label is going to be my h, or my height, is the same as 3.5 meters, not cubed, right? It's only cubed when you're trying to find the volume, okay? So 3 5/10 meters is what you're looking for, okay? Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust the volume again, because I know that's been something we've been talking about. So that's how you do that, okay? Let's see. I think that's about it for what I need to share with you as far as how to complete the problem. Oh, one more thing. If you get a height of 3.5 meters, remember, you can check your own answer. So you can go back and you can say, okay, my length was 6 times my width was 4 times 3.5, and they told me that it should be 84. So you can multiply these three together, and if you multiply these three together and you get 84, you know that you have the right answer before you even show me your paper, okay? So make sure that you go back and you're checking your answer as well, all right? All right, I'm going to bring my computer a little bit closer because I know you're talking about volume not being so awesome all the time. So the answers, here's what I have for answers for you. I have on page 571, check your progress D. I have an answer where the height is 5 5/10 feet. Okay. For part E, I have an answer where my width is what you're trying to find in that one is 4.5 kilometers. 4 5/10 km. Okay. All right. Now, let's go through. I'm going to read you the answers to the rest of them as well. Okay. So if you look at page 572, number 1 should be 15 feet cubed. Number 2 should be 112 centimeters cubed. Number 3 should be 4,986 and 875 thousandths inches cubed. Number 4 should be 7 6/10 meters. Sorry, that was number 4. Number 4 should be 7 6/10 meters. Number 5 should be 20 inches. Okay? Then on the bottom, number 1 should be 120 meters cubed. Number 7 should be 171 inches cubed. Number 8 should be 600 yards cubed. Number 9 should be 84 centimeters cubed. Number 10 should be 1,430 feet cubed. Number 11 should be 6,664 and 77/100 meters cubed. Number 12 should be 195 inches cubed. Number 13 should be 2,702 and 5/10 inches cubed. Number 14 should be 720 inches cubed. Number 15 is 17 meters. And lastly, number 16 should be 24 feet. Okay, so that concludes your video for today. Good luck practicing.